Hello students, have your seats. Today in this session we are going to discuss regarding plastids. Plastids are membrane bound cell organelles which are mainly found in plant cells and in euglenoids also. They are not found in animal cell and in fungi of plant group. And they are also not found in prokaryotic cells. But in the case of prokaryotic cells, there is an exception, that is blue-green algae. It is also called as cyanobacteria. In cyanobacteria, chloroplasts are found. Now we will discuss regarding history of discovery of plastids. There was a scientist, namely Ernst Haeckel, who in 1866 discovered plastids and termed this membrane-bound cell organelle as plastids. After him, in 1883, another scientist, namely Andreas Schimper, he defined the plastid in detail and inform more about the plastids. Plastids may be of different types. Different type of pigments are found in plastids. On the basis of types and color of plastids, they are classified into three categories. First is Leucoplast, second is Chromoplast, and third is Chloroplast. Firstly, we will discuss regarding Leucoplast. Leucoplast are those plastids which are colorless and mostly found in underground parts of plant, and they serve to store certain nutrients in the underground part of the plants. On the basis of nutrients which the leucoplast is stored in the various part of plants, leucoplast may be classified into three types. First type of leucoplast is Amyloplast. Amyloplast are those type of leucoplast which store carbohydrate in certain parts, mainly in underground parts of the plant. Their example is potato. In potatoes, amyloplast store carbohydrates. Second type of leucoplast is Elaioplast. Elaioplast are those type of leucoplast who mainly store oil and fats in certain parts of plants as well as in underground parts of the plant. Third type of leucoplast is proteoplast. Proteoplast are those type of leucoplast which store proteins inside the certain part of plant. These type of leucoplasts are also called as Aleuroplasts. Now we will discuss regarding chromoplasts. Chromoplasts are those type of plastids which have colorful pigments, and due to that they provide color to the various parts of the plant, such as they are found in petals of the flower, in the epicarps of the fruits, in colorful leaves, like that in other parts also. Now we will discuss the chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are very important type of plastids. They are also called as photosynthetic cell organelles because they help in photosynthesis. They are mainly found in green parts of the plants, and in green parts of the plant they help in photosynthesis for production of food in the plants. Now we will discuss regarding size, shape and number of chloroplasts. The size of chloroplasts varies from 4 mu to 8 mu. Their size are more than mitochondria. Due to that reason, chloroplasts are designated as largest cell organelle of eukaryotic cell. Now we will discuss regarding shape. In higher plant, their shape may be lens shape, oval shape, spherical shape. But in the case of algae, the shape of chloroplast varies tremendously. They may be cup-shaped. Example is Chlamydomonas. In the single cell body of the Chlamydomonas, a cup-shaped chloroplast is found. Likewise, they may be girdle-shaped. Example is Eulothrix. They may be star-shaped. Example is Gygnema. They may be spiral-shaped. Its example is a Spirogyra. In a Spirogyra, they may be ribbon-shaped also. They may be reticulate type. Example is Odogonium. And another example of chloroplast shape is they may be discoid shaped in the case of Vaucheria. These are the examples of algae. In their cells, the chloroplasts may be found in various forms. Now we will discuss regarding number of chloroplasts. Normally in higher plants, their number may vary from 20 to 24 per cell. But just I told you about Chlamydomonas, the single cell body of the Chlamydomonas alga. A single cup-shaped chloroplast is found. Now we will discuss regarding a structure of chloroplast. I have drawn a separate diagram of the chloroplast here, you see attentively, so that you can understand the structure of chloroplast. Just I told you, this membrane bound cell organelle is very important for the entire world, because due to this cell organelles, entire world is getting food. You know, the plants are universal producer of the food. With the help of photosynthesis, they produce food. From there, the entire world is getting food. So, this cell organelle is very important because chloroplasts used to help the plant in production of food. Now we will discuss regarding its structure. Normally, in higher plants, chloroplasts are lens-shaped, oval-shaped, discoidal also. And it has a double membrane layer just like mitochondria. Outer layer is called as outer membrane, and innermost layer or membrane is called inner membrane. This inner membrane, listen attentively, is less permeable than the outer membrane, and it is also selective permeable. So it plays very important role to maintain the composition inside the chloroplast. One more important information here, you listen attentively, that in the case of immaturity, that means when the chloroplast is immature, this inner membrane develops certain projections, and those projections developed into sac-like vesicular structure. Those structures are of thylakoids. But later on, after getting matured, those foldings or projections of the thylakoids get freed, get detached. Detachments of those immature thylakoids takes place, and all the thylakoids come into the ground of matrix. We will discuss just now what are the thylakoids. Now we have completed description of the membrane. Now we will discuss regarding another component, that is matrix. Inner to the double layered membrane of the thylakoids, there is a space. In that space, colorless granular colloidal substance is found. That is the matrix. Its another name is stroma. That ground of the matrix is called as stroma. In stroma, there are numbers of sac-like thin membranous structures. They are called thylakoid. An individual sac-like membranous structure is called as thylakoids. But normally the thylakoids are not found in free condition. All the thylakoids are found in cluster, in groove. They are stacked just like piles of coin. That group or cluster of thylakoids or stack of piles of coin-like structure is called as grana. In plural, they are called as grana, but in singular it is pronounced as grana. Normally, the number of grana varies from 40 to 60 per chloroplast. Now we will discuss one another component, that is the stroma lamella. Its another name is freight canal. All the grana are interconnected by a tubular structure. Those tubular structures are called as stroma lamella or freight canal. Now exclusively we will discuss regarding grana and thylakoids because they are very important parts of the chloroplast, because thylakoids is the site where light reaction of photosynthesis takes place. Just I told you, a single this sac-like vesicular membranous structure, see here, is called as thylakoid. This complete group which forms a cluster, it looks like a piles of coin. This complete group, this cluster, this structure like a piles of coin is called as grana. But individual, this is thylakoid. Thylakoid contains number of units, number of small units. Those units are called as quantasomes. Each quantasomes contains protein, lipid, chlorophyll and redox carriers. And you should know here, because this information is very important, because quantasomes are the site where actually light reaction occurs. So each quantasomes are called as a structural functional unit of the chloroplast. There were two scientists, Park and Baggins, who discovered quantasomes. And this thylakoid term was first time given by a scientist, Menke. These photosynthetic units, quantasomes, are actually embedded on the paracrystalline surface of the thylakoids. During photosynthesis, actually all the quantasomes trap the solar energy in the form of photon, and with the help of photon, light reaction takes place. And now we will discuss regarding matrix in detail. Just I told you, the stroma or matrix is the ground where number of grana are found. Apart from grana and stroma lamellae, stroma also contain certain enzymes for the synthesis of carbohydrate and proteins, as well as stroma or matrix contains number of ribosomes. Here ribosomes are found in 70s form. Ribosomes of the chloroplast are smaller than the normal ribosomes found in the cells. And apart from ribosomes, stroma also contains circular double distant DNA. Now here, one more important information you should know. Just similar to the mitochondria, the chloroplasts are also called as semi-autonomous cell organelle, because just similar to the mitochondria, the stroma or the matrix of the chloroplast contains number of ribosomes and circular DNA, and due to the presence of ribosomes, they have their own mechanism to synthesize the protein, as well as due to the presence of circular DNA, they are capable to replicate. And due to these properties, they serve as a cell, and so chloroplasts are also called as semi-autonomous cell organelle. And one more important information you should know here, that in a stroma, dark reaction takes place. That means stroma is the site for dark reaction. Now, more or less, we have completed description of plastids as well as chloroplasts. By this information, I am concluding my lecture. In next session, we will discuss regarding nucleus of eukaryotic cells. Thank you very much.